Welcome to the CAS Answering and Grading Insights video, your inside look at how to approach and answer items using Exam 5 content and how they are graded. This is a joint project between the Candidate Advocate Working Group and the CAS. One of the biggest challenges we've heard that candidates face is understanding what graders are looking for in their answers to receive full credit. In these videos, we'll walk step by step through 4 Exam 5 items from the October/November 2024 sitting. These items are now retired and will not be tested moving forward. You'll see how a candidate might approach their response and then hear directly from a grader on how a response will be evaluated. Each video will break down key elements of a strong response, common mistakes to avoid, and how points are awarded, giving you the knowledge to refine your exam strategy and improve your performance. Let's get started.
I'll be acting as the candidate for this and going through this item like a candidate would. So for this question, one total point, given the following information, effective date, October 1st, 2021, minus 5% rate change, October 1st, 2022, a 10% rate change, October 1st, 2023, a negative 3% rate change. A law change mandated a rate decrease of 15% applicable to all in-force policies effective July 1st, 2023 for the remainder of each policy's term. All policies are annual and policies are written uniformly throughout the year. Calculate the on-level factor to current rate level for calendar year 2023 earned premium and select the range it is within. All right, so I'm going to open the Scratchpad now. And first, I'm just going to bring over some of the information so that I can do some calculations. So the different rate changes were October 1st, 2021, minus 5%. October 1st, 2022, plus 10%. And October 1st, 2023, minus 3%. And I'm going to calculate a rate index from that. And I'm also going to add the rate change for July 1st, 2023, which is on all earned premium after July 1st, 2023 of 15%, minus 15%. I just picked up a mistake that I made. I'm going to fix that. Okay. All right. From this question, I think I need to do a parallelogram method. So on my scratch paper off to the side, I'm going to draw an image. So what I'm doing is I am drawing a timeline and I'm going to create some parallelograms here. The first section is for October 1st, 2021 to October 1st, 2022. And that's the period where all of the written policies have a minus 5% rate change. The second parallelogram is from October 1st, 2022 to October 1st, 2023. And that's the period when the written policies had a plus 10% rate change. And then the third section is from October 1st, 2023 onwards, when there was a minus 3% rate change on all written policies written. Then I'm going to draw a square within that. That period is calendar year 2023, so from January 1st, 23 to January 1st, 2024. And within that, so that's the period of that I want to calculate the on-level factor for is calendar year 2023. And then within that, I'm going to break that box down into different sections that have different rate levels based on all of the changes that were described in this question. So section 1, I'll call it rate group 1, has a rate level that includes just the 5% rate increase. So I'm just going to pull in the rate index here for that period. Section 2 has the 5% rate increase and, or sorry, 5% rate decrease and the 15% rate decrease on all enforced policies. So I'm going to multiply those two together. Section 3 has the 5% rate increase, decrease, the 10% rate increase, and that's it. So I'll multiply those two together. Section 4 has the 5% rate increase, rate decrease, the 10% rate increase, and the 15% rate decrease on all enforced policies. And then the last section, section 5, has all of the rate changes included. Now I need to calculate, so this is the rate index for all of those different periods of time. Now I need to calculate the weights for each of those different segments of my calendar year and weight them together to get an average rate index for that period. And I'm going to use the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. And the base is the written percent of the year that's written, and the height is the percent of the year that's earned. And I'm going to start with the two sections that are actually triangle shaped. So sections 2 and 5. Section 2 is the period that is written policies from July 1st, 2022 to October 1st, 2022. And the earned portion of that from July 1st, 2023 to October 1st, 2023. So it's a quarter of a year of written policies and a quarter of a year of earned policies. So I'm going to do 1/2 times the base times the height. And then section 5 is the same size, I think. So it's the period that's written policies from October 1st, 23 to January 1st, 2024, and just the period that's earned in that same time. So it's also 1/2 times the base times the height. And so now that I have sections 2 and section 5, I can figure out section 4 because that's just a rectangle. It's 1/2 of the earned period is in section 4. So, or sorry, 1/2 of the earned period is sections 2, 4, and 5 combined. So section 4 is just 1/2 minus those two pieces. Next, I'm going to do section 1. If you combine sections 1 and 2, you get a bigger triangle. So I'm going to calculate the area of that triangle and then subtract the piece that's in section 2. And this section 1 is policies written from January 2022 to October 2022. Sections 1 and 2 is that combined. And earned from January 23 to October 2023. So that is 3/4 of a year written and 3/4 of a year earned. So that big triangle is 1/2 times 0.75 times 0.75. And then I have to subtract the small piece, that's piece 2. And now I can do section 3, which is, if I look at 1 and 3 combined, that's half of the calendar year. So I'm just going to take out section 1 from that, from half. Okay, now I have all of my weights, and I'm going to do a weighted average of the rate index. So that's the average rate level for calendar year 2023. And then the current rate index is just the product of all of the past rate changes. And then the on-level factor is the current rate index divided by the average rate index for that year. So I ended up with 0.775, but that answer isn't shown in any of the ranges here, so I probably have a mistake. And I'm just going to look through some of my calculations. Okay, and I think I meant to do a subtraction here. Still not quite right. All right, let me check these rate changes. -5%, 10%. Okay, here, -3%. Okay, now the answer that I got is 0.917, which looks like it is within the ranges that are given to me. So I'm going to select answer B for this question.
Hi, I will be acting as the grader and will now walk through how this item would be graded. However, this is a multiple choice question, which means it's either right or wrong, right? So in this case, they got the answer correct. The answer is 0.917-ish. So the correct answer is B. They would be awarded the full point. And they did a good job going back through and finding their mistakes. Definitely something to take into consideration with multiple choice questions. If you get an answer that isn't any of the options, it's always good to go back and check your work and make sure that you got it correct.